Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put your detective skills to the test with our selection of 7 brain-teasing riddles. We'll begin with our first question. Are you ready to take on the challenge and uncover the answers? Let's embark on this exciting journey together.
In a serene neighborhood, Alina's lifeless body was discovered in her home, her hands stained with blood and clutching a cryptic message, Smith, and a question mark. The police were called to the scene, and they immediately began their investigation. Their attention turned to the neighboring house, where the Smith family lived. Peter Smith claimed he was watching TV at the time and heard nothing unusual. Lisa Smith mentioned she was engrossed in painting and didn't hear any commotion. Tina Smith stated she had been out for shopping. Mark Smith, the youngest of the family, said he went for grocery shopping. Who is the suspect? Option A, Peter Smith. Option B, Lisa Smith. Option C, Tina Smith. Option D, Mark Smith. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to think about the question before answering. The correct answer is option D because the clue says question Mark Smith.
Four friends, Sophia, Emma, Grace, and Sarah, decided to spend a sunny afternoon lounging poolside. As the sun kissed their skin, laughter filled the air, but their joy was shattered. Sarah was discovered lifeless in the locker room. Shocked and bewildered, the police swiftly launched an investigation, beginning with interviews of Sarah's friends. Sophia recounted how she had left briefly to purchase refreshing drinks for the group, ensuring they stayed hydrated under the scorching sun. Emma explained how she had been swimming in the waters of the pool, enjoying the freedom and bliss that swimming brought her. Grace, on the other hand, confessed that she had succumbed to the soothing sway of the hammock, drifting off into a peaceful slumber. Who killed Sarah? Option A, Emma. Option B, Grace. Option C, Sophia. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to think about the question before answering. The answer is option C, Sophia. Why did she buy 3 drinks instead of 4?
James, Chris, Tina, and Peter were enjoying a seaside vacation in a rented villa. They ordered a delicious spread of pizza, burgers, and drinks to enjoy by the sea. Suddenly, tragedy struck when James, Chris, and Tina tragically died. The police investigation uncovered poison in their bodies, turning their vacation into a horrifying mystery. How did Peter survive? Feel free to stop the video if you need more time to think before answering the question. The drinks were poisoned, so only those who consumed them died.
In a quiet village, there was a renowned baker named Tom. One morning, Tom was found unconscious in his bakery, surrounded by flour and dough. On the wall, written in flour, was the word bread. Concerned, the police decided to interview Tom's neighbors, who were known for their love of baking. Sarah claimed she was baking pies all the day. David claimed he was in his garden, tending to his herbs. Jack claimed he was at the market buying fresh fruits. Lastly, Michael, a friendly neighbor, asserted he had been visiting a friend in the neighboring village. Who is the suspect? Option A, Sarah. Option B, David. Option C, Jack. Option D, Michael. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to think about the question before answering. The answer to the riddle is option A, Sarah. The clues provided in the flour writing bread indicate that the culprit must have been involved in baking.
In a room shrouded in mystery, a woman's lifeless body lay on the floor, her last breath immortalized in a cryptic message written in blood. 71057735508517718. With three suspects, Anna, John, and Bill, lurking in the shadows, the challenge lies in deciphering the code to unveil the identity of the culprit. Please crack the code and find out who the criminal is. Option A, Anna. Option B, John. Option C, Bill. Feel free to pause the video if you haven't cracked the code yet. The criminal is Bill. If you reverse the line, you will get the answer. Bill is boss, he sells oil. In John's big fancy house, something terrible happened. John was found dead. His wife called the police, and they said it was murder. The detective wanted to know what happened, so he talked to John's family. John's son said he was at school all day. His wife said she didn't know what happened because she was upstairs and only heard some talking. John's daughter said she went to visit her friend. The police looked around the house and found a note with some numbers on it. Please crack the code and find out who the criminal is. Feel free to pause the video if you haven't cracked the code yet. The killer is wife, because if you decode it, you will get wife. In a bustling car dealership, Sam was known as the charismatic salesman who could charm anyone into buying a car. The holiday spirit was shattered when he was discovered dead on Christmas Eve in the back room. The police had three suspects: Sinan, a salesman; Ella, the head of sales; and Alan, the manager. Sinan stated he was finalizing a contract at the front desk. Ella claimed she was engaged in a conversation with a disgruntled customer until after Sam's demise. Alan insisted he was meeting a client across town. Who killed Sam? Sinan, salesman; Ella, head of sales; Alan, manager. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to think about the question before answering. The killer is Sinan. He concluded this contract 2 days before.
A gentleman reported to the authorities that he had been the victim of a robbery. He explained that while he was en route to the bank, carrying $200,000 in his briefcase. He was suddenly assaulted by an individual wearing a mask and gloves. The assailant forcibly took the briefcase and fled the scene. A police officer noticed a fresh cut on the man's face. The man said the attacker was wearing a silver ring on his left hand. The police officer immediately knew he was lying. How? The victim said that the attacker was wearing black gloves. He would not have known if he had a ring.